Now, a lot of people complain about the lack of APS-C E-mount lenses in the Sony lineup. And in some ways, I would definitely agree that overall, there isn't any 2.8 zooms. There aren't really a lot of native APS-C E-mount lenses from Sony. But I have to say that overall, if I look at the landscape right now of the APS-C E-mount system, I almost prefer the lens selection that we have right now. Let me explain. So if you are doing high-end professional paid work, size and weight is not an issue, then any of the wonderful prime lenses currently on the market are great options. We have the Sigma 16 and 30 millimeter. We have the rokinon 12 millimeter f2. We have the Sony 85 millimeter 1.8. We have the Sony 55 millimeter 1.8, which is, in my opinion, kind of overpriced and a little lackluster for a lens that's not heavily weather sealed or truly built to professional expectations. But we still have lenses that in the 35 millimeter equivalent focal range are an 18 millimeter f2, a 24 millimeter f1.4, a 45 or so millimeter 1.4, a 35 millimeter 1.8 in the Sony 24 millimeter APS-C E-mount lens. And we have the wonderful 85 millimeter 1.8 from Sony that comes out to like 127 millimeters. So if you need to have that subject isolation, you need to have the shallow depth of field. Because the sensor on the E-mount cameras is APS-C, it is smaller. Shooting with a 2.8 zoom is not going to give you the same type of subject isolation that it would on a full-frame camera. I used to shoot full-frame Nikon, and I can attest to being able to put a 24-70 and a 70-200 in my camera bag and being able to really easily isolate subjects with an all-in-one kind of lens. And in some ways, I miss that luxury. But in others, and I'll try to take as little time with this as possible, the weight and size penalty of 2.8 professional zoom lenses on a full frame body is kind of a hampering for the creative process. It's heavy to carry. If you're taking them on the street with you, you very rarely can take a photo without people paying much attention to you. And overall, for all of the upsides that shooting a full frame camera and 2.8 zooms gives you, there are certainly numerous downsides. And just kind of overall, I think it's more fun to have a smaller camera with some lightweight primes. On the other hand, if you're doing travel, if you need an all-in-one lens, if a camera is more of a tool to capture memories, moments, and share things, there are some great lenses that Sony has. They have the 16-70 f4 Zeiss. They have the 18-105 f4. They also have a phenomenal 10-18 millimeter f4. And all of these lenses offer a very nice focal range and a compact package. The question for APS-C E-mount shooters is, do you want to have a compact all-in-one zoom at the cost of light? Or do you want to carry a... I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a rambly rant. And until next time, it's been Mitchell, coming to you from a very noisy Hanoi. But bag full of prime lenses that offer phenomenal subject isolation, very, very pleasant imaging characteristics, and be switching lenses. At the same time, I can understand why people would want to have a 2.8 professional zoom lens, like a 16 to 50 2.8. And I can certainly understand that a jack of all trades type of lens certainly has its plus sides. I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a rambly rant. And until next time, it's been Mitchell, coming to you from a very noisy Hanoi. Bye.